Hello, everybody. We are just going to give them a few minutes to jump on and join us. I know Alicia is picking up her son from school, and then she will be on to join. And please excuse my tiny human hollering at me for a plate of cookies. She just woke up and it's all moved. So if I move, that's why. But if you guys want to go to your downline chat and let everybody know that it's time to join, send them all the join. Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Thanks for logging us in. I appreciate it.
No problem.
I'll be right back. I'm going to get a hair tie. You just wait until all your little girls, all you mamas out here with little bitty girls, wait until they get preteen and they have to have hair ties, and you buy them their own hair ties, and then you buy your own hair ties, and yours just seem to go missing along with theirs too. That's what mine do. Mine go missing. All right, who do we have on so far? We got a few jumping on. Faith, I know. I mean, starts out earlier every time. Oh, okay. So, Haley was gonna host Power Hour today, but that's okay. She's got some family stuff she's taking care of, and I told her that we have an excellent team that can step in, and so I've got some helpers on here to help out today, and really don't have anything planned besides just the normal stuff that we do every single day, which I think is great for Power Hour anyways. I hope that you guys are all getting back into the groove of the first of the month after the spectacular end of the month. I know that it's always a struggle for me, you know, to do the mind shift of push to, okay, now I got to get organized. I've got to get all these people that I just enrolled or all these people that I just followed up with, and offer them this month's promotion, or change gears and make sure that I keep the customers that I had in February. You know what I mean? So that's the whole mind shift for me. But I think it's great if we were to do what we did over the weekend, you know, just what was I trying to say? Just kind of do that every single day. If we were to, what is that word I'm looking for? I always do this. I just took my combo. I probably should put a patch on. If we were to exercise the things that we do at the end of the month every single day, we would be able to like do a little push every single day, and then we wouldn't have to do so much pushing at the end of the month. I think that's awesome, especially with the momentum that we had. We had so many rank advancements, so many people that hit goals, like financial goals, GV8 goals. I know on my team, almost every single level one that I had, every single one of them were up in some way, whether it be their total people underneath them, their total amount that they were had enrolled personally, or their GV8 as a whole. Almost every single person was up. So I have an awesome team, and I think that they all saw it too. So without further ado, let's do some things that you normally do every single day, or you should be doing. The first one is going to your birthdays and making sure that you wish everybody that's on your birthdays a happy birthday. You can personalize it and go to their Facebook wall and send them a happy birthday, you know, like normal standard people do. But I would take it a step further, and I would send them a little message. and personalize it. And if you're feeling froggy, you could also send them a little voice message. Hey, happy birthday. I just wanted to personally wish you a happy birthday. I hope you have a great day. Something simple, but very personalized. People love that. And I know I did. I got several of those on my birthday, and I know that I just love it. So if I have time, I try to do that throughout the day. That's awesome, Victoria. She's sending a video message and also posting on their wall for double exposure. That's really great. I also know that one leader that used to give like her solid customers, she used to send them, some heart and hydration or a extra week trial if you're able to afford that kind of stuff. But for people that had bought from her, throughout the couple of months, she would send them just a little gift as a thank you, and happy birthday sort of thing. Let me go back into that chat. I know Vicki Welborn. She usually does some too. She sends video messages. Where do we find the birthdays when it's not showing in notifications? Great question. At your search bar, like if you were going to search for your Aunt Susie, and you just type her name at the top of your Facebook to look for her, you can do the same thing with birthdays. Just type in birthdays and it should come up. You can also find it under events, or if you're on like a desktop or a laptop, there's a section just for birthdays on the left-hand side. Those are the ways that I find it if it doesn't pop up in my notifications, which usually it does, but sometimes I miss it because I just go too fast. But just type in birthdays or birthday and it will pop up. Let me know when you guys are done with that, and then we will move on from that. And this is going to be an interactive power hour, so I hope that you guys are ready to interact and talk. You don't have to unmute yourself if you don't want to, but I want to hear what you guys do, and I want to be able to help you if you're struggling with something or don't have the answer for something. While you're thinking about it, while you're doing birthdays, make sure that you, today, if you don't already, take pictures of your products when you take them. So I'm getting ready to take a picture of the patch that I just put on, and I'm going to talk about how, I missed yesterday. I should have taken it, especially if my husband's driving in Indianapolis on 465 for his birthday. We went over there, but and I should have had a patch on. So I got it now. I'm going to post about it here in a second after I take a picture of it. And then my afternoon dose here in just a little bit, I'm going to take a picture of that and post it. I would suggest posting it in your stories. I would suggest posting it in your customer group. I'm surely everybody on here works some kind of customer group. And the more active you're in there, the more active people are going to see a notification that, oh, Lindsay just posted in the VIP group. I better go check out what she posted. It might be a special. It might be something I might be struggling with, and I just don't want to ask because I might be too embarrassed. We have customers like that all the time. I'll have some come to me, a week after they stopped taking the products because they were too embarrassed to tell me whatever. Or they didn't want to bother me. I get that a lot. I know you're so busy, I didn't want to bother you. Heck yes, I want to be bothered. That is exactly what I want you to come to me and tell me what's wrong, which makes following it up a big deal for people. But I'm going to make some heart and hydration while you guys are doing birthdays. And if you haven't taken a picture of your products already, make sure you do that and post them now or throughout the day. And let me know when you're done. Lindsay, are you on here? Lindsay, Fred.
Yes.
Hi.
Is it cold there? You look like you're bundled up.
It was cold when I took Lucas to school earlier, and I just never took it off. So, and it's super soft and warm, and I didn't get it but like 2 days ago. So, yeah, I mean, it was chilly this morning. It's kind of warming up now. I have a million things I want to do outside, and I have a million things to get ready for this weekend. So, all right.
Yeah, why don't you talk about or let everybody know that you're going to Texas if they have team around or.
Yes. So there's 2 big meetings this weekend. Hang on a second. I'm assuming you guys are done with the birthdays and taking pictures of your products. There's 2 big meetings this weekend. One Friday night in Odessa, Texas, kind of close to Midland, kind of in like the west area of Texas. Friday night at 7 Central Standard Time. And then and someone from corporate will be there. His name's Cliff. He kind of works with our Latino teams. And then Saturday at 2 o'clock in Houston. It's actually closer to Cypress, Texas, which just is like an outskirts of Houston, Texas. 2 o'clock, we'll have Cliff there, and then myself and a couple of my upline, and then a lot of my downline. And then anybody is welcome to either one of these events. If you bring a guest, you get a free, or your guest will get a free week of the combo if they've never tried our products. We'll have some tastings there. We'll have some cool stuff. I know that the meeting on Friday night will also have some stuff too. We're gonna play some games and get to know you, but we're also gonna be talking about the business. I think I'm going to talk to some of the other leaders and see if we can get this event on Saturday recorded. That way people can see and get a good idea of just how the meetings go. And that way you're not hesitant about having your own meeting. If you get a group of people together, you or your downline, your sideline, anybody around you that's interested in Tru Vision, and you contact corporate, they will try their damnedest to get somebody from corporate there. We started this business on small events, small at-home parties that, people got together and corporate flew out to them or drove to them or however, far away they are. And that's literally how Tru Vision, how the word got out. So that is what is going on. So if you're in the Houston area, or I always say within like 2 or 3 hours driving distance, we have some that are driving like 8 hours. We have some that are driving from the north end of Texas all the way down to Houston, and Texas is huge. So you could literally drive like 8 hours one way and still not reach the other side of Texas. I'm super pumped. I haven't seen my team, some of them since Summit, since August. So, and then just being with like-minded people, people that know the business, people that are in this for the same reasons as you, and sharing Tru Vision and sharing your testimonies. And that's what an opportunity meeting is about. So I'm super excited. All right. Lindsay, tell me how you used to stay organized, and then tell me what you do now, since you have quite the following underneath of you.
So I used to write everything down about like every other day. I would get on, I had a notebook that was like my lifeline. I had a notebook that was my scratch pad that I wrote down everybody that I added to the group and all of like the people that I talk to on a daily basis. And then I have a binder that I keep, that is my like all-time lifeline of my cold market groups and all of my orders. So I have my first notebook is for my 75 PV and up. And then my second notebook is for my trial pack. And I do a date, name, what they ordered, and their PV. And this also helps when you're filling out at the end of the month contests and stuff, because you have it all right there in front of you. Now I have started and I use my reports now, which is just one less step, which is important for me because I have a crazy house, so time gets away from me. But that is how I do my follow-ups. So like on Mondays and Tuesdays, I do follow-up of everyone that has previously ordered, or no, Mondays and Tuesdays are my new orders. So I go to my notebook. Oh, I also color code it to where my new people get dark color, and then my reoccurring orders are light colors. That way I know, okay, I need to follow up with so-and-so because they ordered on Monday and they just probably received their product. And then Fridays are follow-up Fridays. So I follow up with my previous customers on Fridays. And that binder goes everywhere with me if I'm, you know, not around the house or whatever. But now that I use my reports, I actually have to get my reports fixed again. I don't know why they're messed up again, but
I have a question.
It's much easier using your, oh, okay.
So when you say that you used to write everything down, you used to write down everything and you meant it. Like you used to write your yard sale sites all down. You used to write your, when you would post in them, mark them off, they're done. You would write down every customer, what they ordered, how much it was in PV, and then how much you were going to get from them on a fast start bonus. And that was your follow-up system, right?
Yes. I literally,
so, now,
I mean, now okay, sorry, go ahead.
no, you're okay. And now you use a lot of the reports though, right?
Yes, we have so many built reports in our back office. Hang on.
Lindsay has 3 babies and they're all under 4. A lot of my team have new babies. I just got word that a new mama.
And the puppy is the problem. Like
oh yes, 11-week-old puppy. She's crazy. Lindsay's literally nuts. Taking on a puppy with a newborn and 2 other babies, and she's crazy. And working a business, a one-star business.
Yeah, it's a madhouse. It's crazy, but it definitely is never a dull moment. But yeah, so my reports we have awesome reports in our back office, and they are there solely to help us. And they are a huge part of follow-ups, end of the month, stuff, making sure your people's smart ships are being, shipped out and went through, because you can also send mass messages again, which is awesome, but you have to be careful and not try to take advantage of it, because they did take it away, but it is back. And I definitely use that a lot when we have specials or anything important that I think my customers need to know. I make sure I get it in an email. What reports do I use most often? Hang on, I'm going to get on here. You okay?
Slide.
You hit your knee on the slide?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm careful.
Yes, you need to be careful. All right, I'm logging in, so give me a second here. I know new enrollments current month, new enrollments last month. Those are my two huge ones that I use. And I kind of go off of those, throughout each week. Okay, I guess I cannot get on. Okay, screw that. Oh, now it's letting me. Sorry. Give me 1 second here.
Mommy, Daddy.
Is someone driving? It sounds like a blinker.
No. It's driving.
Come on, phone. Okay. So into your report center, I have made so many custom reports. That is really nice as well. They're dead. I got to charge them. Okay, so the ones that I use all the time is my 90-day personal volume report. That shows everything. I love that report. And then it's towards the end of the month, I use all the failed ones. So let's see here. Failed order current month, no PV. So failed smart ship, no PV. Obviously that's going to be your smart ship that didn't go out. Ordered last month, not active this month. That's always a good one, because you want to make sure you're checking in with those people, not only like, hey, why didn't you order this month? Because you want to make sure they're keeping up with their products, but if there's a problem, you need to help them solve it. And you can reach out to your upline. You can do third-party validation with a three-way message with your upline, anything to help your customers, because they really don't know what we know about these products. So any way that you can help them, because definitely if they have not used the products for 90 days, it's kind of, I don't think it's a...
Can I touch on that real quick? I would love to touch on that real quick. Okay, so
Yeah,
third-party
go ahead.
validation. If you guys aren't accustomed to doing third-party validations or even know what they are, just a real quick, when I first started this business, it was me, Amanda Baumgartner, and Allie, and they were all training. And Amanda and I kind of started at the same time. So a lot of my third-party validations, and that's what I call them, and it's literally just me putting a customer or a potential customer into a three-way chat with someone who knows a little bit more, or someone who can has a little more experience with whatever the situation is. I've used third-party validations still to this day with people that I know have experienced something and can probably explain something a little bit better than me. I have no problem going to my friend Maury, who is a type 1 diabetic, and saying, hey, I have this customer, and she is probably not going to just listen to me. I've exhausted all of my means of trying to help, as far as tagging them in testimonies, tagging them in all the information that I can in our customer group. And so then I will reach out to her. I'll reach out to Maury and I'll just say, hey, I would love to put you in a 3-way chat if you don't mind. 100% any leader in this company does not mind if you put them in a 3-way chat. A lot of times it's a mind shift change for your potential customer or your customer, especially if they know that somebody has gone through it, or especially if they know that someone might have a little more knowledge. And sometimes it's just like a psychological thing, like, oh, so this person's telling me the exact same thing, but maybe uses a couple of different words, or this person is more fluent in talking about replace shakes, or this person is more has more knowledge about hypothyroidism, or whatever the case may be. I always have used 3-way chats with people, and it's just third-party validation. You're just validating what you're saying to somebody with somebody else that could give a different perspective, somebody who could give a little bit more knowledge on things. And I have no problem doing that, and it has helped my business wonders. If I go to somebody and say, can you just help me just a little bit with this customer? Or I have had, all my downline know, throw me in a 3-way chat. I'd love to explain it. I know you've probably exhausted all your means, or maybe you're not sure on something. Throw me in a 3-way chat. I have no problem using Google. I have no problem using our customer group. I have no problem telling somebody in the nicest way possible, or putting them in their place when they are maybe not the nicest person, maybe they are super skeptical, and that comes off as being harsh, because sometimes skepticism is, one, it's natural, and number two, it can be hard on people. When you're trying to sell a product, skepticism can be like the enemy. But at the same time, we can flip somebody's mind as long as we show them the facts, as long as we show them what we have to offer and how it's simple, effective, and affordable. And those are the key ingredients to being good customer service reps. And I think that's all our job is to be a great steward of customer service. So use your friends, your downline, your sidelines, your uplines. Use whoever it is that you connect with the most in a third-party validation. If you have a customer who may not know as much about, or maybe you don't know as much about how the benefits of a replace shake. Maybe you don't have any thyroid issues. Maybe you don't know about gut health, or whatever it is. I would, number one, exhaust all the means in your customer group, as it should be a revolving billboard of information provided to your potential customers to find and see. But number two, talk to somebody, and even if you don't put them in a 3-way chat, at least go to somebody and say, hey, what do you think about this? Hey, what would you say to this person? And that's simple. That's easy. That's going that extra mile for your customer. And that's the only thing that we ever expect out of anybody, is just to do some good customer service. And I promise you that customer will thank you, or that potential customer will probably enroll with you, just because you've exhausted all your means on trying to help them understand what this does, what that does, how it works, and what our products can do for them. So that's 3-way chats in a nutshell. I had no idea that I would talk about this long about them, but I promise you they work. So, Lindsay, you were going over reports. I know that's what you were doing. Do you go through these reports every single day, or do you, I know you're talking about on certain days you do this and on certain days you do that. When you are following up with them, you're probably just checking them off your list and making sure that, you've highlighted them or you've marked them out. Do you use a certain script for certain customers, or do you just play it by ear on how your customers were doing? I hope I didn't lose you. I just asked you like 14 questions.
It's okay. So I actually don't use many scripts anymore, except for when I'm doing green dot, just because obviously that goes way faster that way. But I am super real with my customers. Like, I pretty much personalize each message, or I pretty much say, hey, how's it going? Are you loving your product still? And one huge thing about that I learned from you and that third-party validation, I'm pretty sure, like, how many times, you tell me something and then Allie will get on and say it, and I'll be like, oh, so I just started doing this. And you're like, yeah, I've been telling you that all along. I'm like, well, I don't know, Allie's just clicked that time. And then it works. Well, when you put a positive in, so when you're following up with people and you make it positive and exciting, it's much harder for them to come back with a negative, which, I mean, yeah, they might be having major issues, but it's going to calm them down, and they're going to get like that validation of, it's going to be okay. Things are going to be okay. It's not the end of the world. Let's, figure this out. That's what I'm here for. And I just, if my customers can't afford it, I just want to know, like, just be real with me. Like, if you are not liking the products, which is very rare, but, I just want to know. And when you're personalizing those messages and really getting to the root of their goals and how they're doing in their journey, it's going to ultimately help in every aspect. No. I was going to say something regarding that, and I lost it. I don't remember. My kid totally just distracted me.
That's okay. I agree with you 100%. And sometimes it just takes somebody else saying something different in order for somebody to understand, or maybe saying it in a way that, the words were changed up just a little bit or tweaked or something for people to understand. I know it's happened in my experience too. Somebody explained the comp plan one way and it was like, what? But then Kaylee Cyber can come on and explain the comp plan. And I'm like, okay, I get it. I understand it. And, I've told people like that before. It's I didn't understand it before, and now I do. And they're like, I just said the exact same thing Kaylee did. And I'm like, yeah, but she said something just a little bit different as far as like her verbiage and whatnot. And I understood it. So it never take, any of it to heart. It's literally just how our brain processes things. And that's the exact same way with customers. I have Maury on here now too. She was hanging out with probably her grandkids outside is what I'm assuming, is what I read. But she is one that I go to. Hang on a second. Her dog has learned to scratch the back door when she would like to come in. So I yelled at my kid to let her in. So Maury is one that I do like to go to when we have customers that are any type of diabetic or pre-diabetic or anything. I have good experience with diabetics, been in the medical field a long time. However, she knows the ins and outs. She knows exactly what to tell them, exactly what they should be eating, exactly how many carbs and how many calories and how much protein. And I mean, the list could go on forever. I could literally go on forever about what she knows. So she's one that, and thyroid disease. So she's one that I know that I can go to number one, answer my questions. Number two, show me a different way to think about things. Maury, are you on?
Good morning.
Good morning. I know it's only 10:30 there. It's 11:30 here.
It is, but I was outside playing
I figured you were.
Red Rover, send Grover right over.
Oh, Maury has the cutest grandbaby she keeps during the day. I
Thank
was
you.
telling them, you're welcome. I was telling them about, we were talking about Lindsay brought up third-party validations, and I thought that, that's a great way, because how many times do I come to you and I'm like, what do you think about this? Or, I put you in three-way chats before, and we've been talking about that a little bit. Are you able to, here's what my thinking is, are you able to provide those website addresses that you help people determine how many calories they need, how many carbs, how much protein? Are you able to talk about that a little bit?
Yes. It's a calculator, a BMR calculator that my endocrinologist told me to use, and it works. It truly works.
Tell us why it works. Is it because you set up your customers with all of this information ahead of time?
I do, the ones that want it. Now, I do have some customers that say, oh, I just want to see what it's going to do on its own, which is fine. But they always come back and want to know, okay, what can I do better? Because these supplements make you start feeling so good. They feel like putting in that little extra. And this BMR calculator takes everything into effect. I have to tell them I need their age, their weight, their goal weight, their height, and their activity level. And that activity level is so important, because, and I tell them, don't be, if you don't do any exercise, that's fine, because it will give them exactly where they need to stay. And on the carb side, I don't push keto, because that's a very hard diet, especially for me. No diabetic needs to do keto. They need a certain amount of carbs every day. Sometimes I'll go in and say, okay, if you'll keep your carbs at a lower rate, then it's going to help even more. And then I shoot them recipes. I'm going to see if I can't copy and paste that BMR calculator in the chat, if you want me to.
Yes, I would love it for you. If you can't, I think I have it on my bookmarks. So if you can't find it or get it, I can too. And Lindsay wanted to say something about the talking about their health issues too. Go for it, girl.
So I have come across people who literally have no idea what a calorie or a carbohydrate is, which, I mean, I guess is, I don't know. I feel like they must live under a rock, but whatever. Those people are out there. There are people, like when you're breaking down problem solving with people, finding out what they're eating on a daily basis is so big, just like Maury is talking about, because I find I have either people who literally don't eat. So, I mean, they're living off of nothing. Their body is going to hold everything. That is huge. They have to eat. People do not realize that. they think that, oh, I'm just not going to eat and I'm going to lose weight, and then I'm going to take this stuff and it's going to make me want to lose more weight. Well, that is not how it works. But on top of that, I've had so many customers who eat a bowl of cereal for breakfast, and then they think, lunch, that they're eating a peanut butter and jelly and chips. And then for dinner, they're having, I don't know, pasta. I'm just like throwing ideas out there. Or I had one girl who was eating everything she was feeding her kids. So like for lunch, they would have chicken nuggets and French fries, or fish sticks, or a can of ravioli. And it's like, okay, that's okay for kids because, I mean, they're young. They have these killer bodies who can, fix all of their nutrients and break them down properly. Us as adults, we obviously struggle with those parts. So finding out what your people are eating can sometimes be a game changer. And that's all.
I agree. And, for the people that are probably like, well, the can of ravioli for kids isn't good. It is, because it has the amount of vegetables that that they need for the day. It has the amount of, protein and everything that they need is in that can of ravioli. But think about kids and their energy level and their activity level, and they're running around throughout the day. They are burning off all of those calories in that can of ravioli. Excuse me, I'm eating some lunch. Maury, did you get that? Yep, she
Yes,
did.
I got it. I did.
Awesome. So from there, you set them up, you tell them, stay, within this amount of calories. I wouldn't go below this amount. Walk me through that. What does that look like for you? And then talk to them about, protein. I know you said you send them recipes. We have a whole list in our customer group of protein ideas, meal ideas, meal prepping ideas. Talk to me about all of that. What if I was a brand new customer, what would you set me up with?
Well, I'm of course having a conversation with these people throughout, and by that point, I have already asked them. They're saying, I don't know what to eat, kind of like Lindsay was talking about, and so I will say, give me some ideas of what you will eat, and I don't mean a whole list, but the majority of what you eat. Tell me what you eat. If it's stir fries or Mexican or Chinese food, just tell me something that you like. And they'll send it, and I will just message them back and make a few changes to the food that they already like. If it's stir fried, take out the rice, put in cauliflower rice. It's wonderful. Can't tell the difference. If it's burritos, I tell them to throw away the tortilla shell and get the flat out bread. I know you've heard me talk about flat out bread. I do love the zero carb bread,
Yeah,
but that flat out bread will make a burrito or a big soft taco.
mm-hmm.
And it's got
or there's that. If you'll have people that are not willing to get rid of the tortilla to make a burrito.
Yes, I do. But that's when I talk
about they're like low carb tortillas. If they're not willing to get rid of the carb induced tortillas, make sure that they go research some lower carb options. Like you said, the flat out bread, or maybe even lower carb tortillas. You can pick them up anywhere now. They're Sam's, grocery stores, everywhere. Just a healthier option for them. You're just giving them options.
Correct.
All right, go ahead.
I give them their options. And it just goes from there. I will send them, I have a recipe file, which I'm sure all of you do too. And I will, at first it was a little hard, but now it's easy because I've done it. I've got a file for each one. I have a lot of people that say they can't give up desserts, so I give them a healthier way to make the desserts so they can still have that. And
I love it.
I always throw in a challenge. I do a monthly challenge with people. Most of the time it's for, getting them in on the samples. But a lot of my 30-day auto ship people want those challenges too. We just got to do things, especially in the wintertime. That's when people aren't as, I guess, strict, if that's the right word. Depression hits in a lot because it's cold, wet.
Mm-hmm.
Up there where you
Well, and
guys are at, snowy, and we
their
tend to,
activity level is down
yeah,
because nobody wants to get cold. That's
right.
me.
That's when
So
they
I've gained
struggle.
weight.
Alicia. But that's just what I do. I get into ask them what they like, and they tend to be more perceptive.
I love it. Thank you.
Anytime.
Does anybody have any questions for either Lindsay, excuse me, or Maury? I know we have some on here. You guys are really quiet today. Like no interaction.
I think Alicia froze.
Maury. I'm just in the chat.
Oh, okay.
I'm here. Yeah. Margie says thanks for the calculator, Maury.
Oh, you're welcome.
So I'm not gonna, I wouldn't, so Victoria, I would probably not just send that calculator to your customers. What Maury was saying is she literally asked the people, how old are you? What do you weigh? What's your activity level? What goal do you have as far as a goal weight? And how long do you want to achieve it? And literally do it for them, personalize it for them. Just say, here's the results that came back. I would love to see you stick around these amount of calories each day. You stay under this amount or stay at or under this amount of calories each day. You're going to see some kind of results. Make sure you talk to them about their water intake, all of that. All of it goes into play. I wouldn't just send them this calculator. I would personalize it for them, do it for them, and then go back to them and say,
you're giving them value.
Yeah.
You're showing them that you can add value to what they're trying to achieve.
Absolutely.
It's
and it's
also,
another layer. Go ahead.
Go ahead. It's also good for those that have already met their goal weight, because on that calculator, it will tell you what calories to stay at or below to maintain where you're at.
Yeah. And just go and, at least look at the calculator, see what it says. Maybe if you could use it for yourself too. I know I do for me. I do it for any customer who is, I have a lot of them that are like, I got this, I'll do it. As far as just starting the product and doing their own healthy eating or whatever they tell me. But then they'll come back, like Maury said, and like, okay, can you help me? I'm not losing, I haven't lost. And I always, very first thing is check out what they're eating. Don't just ask, what are you eating? How many calories are you eating a day? People have no idea. But always ask them, take a food journal for the next 2 or 3 days, find out what you're eating, write it all of it down, or download MyFitnessPal and log everything that goes into your mouth as far as the water, the food, even the donuts, everything, log it in there. We'll come back to it in about 2 or 3 days. And we'll adjust it. We'll find out where your deficits are. We'll find out what you're eating too much of, and what we can adjust and improve. A simple, adding value to what they're doing already is crucial in them sticking with you. Hang on, I gotta read that. My bad. What would you say to someone who quit after a month because she did not want to eat better? She said she hit a plateau and she quit taking it. Yeah, I agree with Lindsay. You can't hit a plateau within 1 month. 100%. There's no way you hit a plateau within a month. I've heard Dave Brown talk about it. Give it at least 90 days on our products to see a difference, whether it be your inches, your weight, all of that. All of that comes into play. That's why it's crucial to make sure when you send somebody your link and you sign them up that you tell them at the very front, take pictures, measure, and weigh. All 3 of those things are crucial because that weight for most people isn't going to come off in a week, 2 weeks, or even a month. I know I talked about it on, a Power Hour last week or something. I have one girl who's been on our product since December. She's lost 6 pounds, 6 whole pounds, which can be frustrating. That's 3 months now that she's been on our products, or more actually. 6 whole pounds. But she's not upset at all because she's lost 27.5 inches. And actually, she messaged me this last weekend, and she's now up to 31 inches, I think she said. 31 inches she's lost. That's a lot of pant sizes. She's down 2 or 3 pant sizes. Because her body is completely different than the normal body who, within 3 months, you might have lost for someone else 10, 15, 20 pounds maybe. But for her, she's lost 6 pounds. That hasn't budged, but the inches are coming off. And so I had to do a mind shift. She's like, can you please just tell me why I shouldn't be upset that I've only lost 6 pounds? And I said, because you've lost 27.5 inches. And so we had to do a mind shift, for her. She needed to know that she's doing everything right. The weight will come back. The weight will come off eventually. It's medically, physically, all of that. Unrealistic to lose weight and inches at the exact same time. You just can't do it. One has got to go and then the other will go. So you just have to let your customers know that that's not realistic. And I always tell people if they lose inches or they see pictures and they're like, look at these pictures, do you see a difference? Well, yeah, look at the behind your rear end, your hip area in this picture in the before picture, or, always do that. And you tell people that they don't have to share their photos, but they need to take them. They need to take them for their own benefit. What else? Yes, remind them of their goals that they set and why they started. Does anybody have any questions for Lori or Lindsay or myself? Anybody else want to weigh in on any of this? What's today, March 4th? Okay, let me see. If there's no questions, I'm going to let you all out early so I can make some lunch for my little one and have plans the rest of the day. So I thank you guys for jumping on with me, Lindsay and Maury. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And
it was fun.
It was. Thanks for all your insight. Make sure you tell your team to watch the replay if they're not on or weren't able to make it. And the next power hour, somebody tell me the time. Anybody? I'll tell you. It is tomorrow with one of my favorites, Wendy Navarro, at 10 in the morning, which is 9 Central, 8 Mountain. All right, guys. I hope you have a wonderful